Thomas, in front of me, I have some of the most searched questions on the internet about Thomas Tuchel. I have to say, I've been looking forward to this all week. Are you ready?
Why am I not feeling fully confident?
Don't worry. These are just fun. Okay, the first question. How many languages does Thomas Tuchel speak?
I can absolutely say I speak German. I speak a bit of English, a bit of French, and maybe I would survive in Italy. Organizing myself some coffee, pizza, and spaghetti, and being polite with thank you very much, and well, that's pretty much it, I think.
What was the hardest language to learn? Because a lot of people say that English is very difficult.
Yes, but English was easy to learn, and big credits to Sean Dundee, who joined me in my team in Stuttgart the Kickers when I tried to be a professional player. So he was my closest friend, and we talked only English. I made my exams in school in English, so I sneaked my way through school with sports and English, which was like easy for me. I don't know why. And a bit of Latin. I can speak a bit of Latin, actually.
Go on, give us a little phrase in Latin. What have you got?
I remember the first two sentences of my school book. It's Marcus hodie in Colosseum est, sed ubi est Cornelia.
That's good. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Do you know what it means?
No, I haven't got a clue.
Marcus is today in the Colosseum, but where is Cornelia?
Oh, brilliant. Okay, let's do the next one then. Who is Thomas Tuchel's favourite ever footballer?
Wow. This is unfair because there are a lot of them. I was a huge fan of Borussia Mönchengladbach when I was a kid, a little boy, and there was this guy in defense called Hans-Günther Bruns, and he was like the sweeper. There was no line of back four in these days. There was one guy who was in the back, a bit of a chilling, letting the others do the hard work, man on man, the challenges, and collecting the balls, and never had a dirty shirt and like this. And he was a left foot, and he had this long blonde hair. So he was my first idol on the pitch. I think he was national player for Germany as well. And then many more were there to come because I was a huge fan of Ajax Amsterdam and of course of Barcelona. So many more were there to come.
And when you were a footballer back in your early days, is that someone you based your game on? You know, flowing long blonde locks, playing as a defender?
First of all, I had never blonde long hair, hardly any hair. And I was right foot, not left foot, so no. And I was not his level.
Fair enough. Okay, let's do the next one. This is a great one. What did Thomas Tuchel want to be when he grew up?
I can remember that I wrote into these little books that you exchange as friends. I can remember that I wrote helicopter pilot in there, which was, I think, more the word, because like I remember sometimes writing in it that I want to be the pilot of these super fast warplanes. Like I don't know what this was like. Was more like the word, and it's how it sounded, and sounded pretty adventurous. Because you cannot get me into a helicopter. I'm much too scared.
I have to say, I have got that report in front of me here.
Yeah.
And you also say within it, favourite subject, sport, least favourite, woodworking.
This is correct until today.
Okay, I love it. Okay, the next one then. What is Thomas Tuchel's favourite music?
Well, I bought myself I got talked into it. No, that's not the right word. No, I got addicted to it. I bought myself these huge speakers, and in the last year, in my living room, to listening to music. And I have to say that playing vinyl on these speakers is absolutely fantastic. Putting on a Simply Red vinyl is one of the best things in my living room. I'm pretty much into modern music. I like a lot also rap music, hip hop. I love Jay-Z and this stuff. So it's a wide range.
That's amazing, because also on your school report, Thomas, it says who your favourite musicians are. And so you're now a big fan of Jay-Z. Let me tell you, back in the day, you wrote ABBA and AC/DC.
Of course, I was in love with a blonde girl. Of course. I walked by this store when I went to school. I could walk to school. In the first 4 years, I could walk to school. I did a little bit of a turn, so I walked by this shop where they sell vinyl and cassettes. And I saw all the time this vinyl from ABBA with these 4 people. I was in love with this blonde girl, so of course it was ABBA.
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's do the next one. Let's bring it back to football then. Why does Thomas Tuchel use tennis balls in training? Now, is this true?
Yeah, this is true. We did this. I think in Mainz and in Dortmund. We did it. We did it in some. I remember we did it in exercises when we played 1 against 1 and 2 against 2.
Okay.
Like this little aggressive, maybe on one goal. So like to train the defenders and the offensive guys. And the defenders we gave the defenders tennis balls, and later we cut out some. Little fabrics because it was easier to hold, so they just that they could not grab the shirt, and they could not grab the shirt, and they used their arms, elbows, and whatever to push, but not to grab, so to help them to improve their skills without grabbing the shirts.
I've heard a lot about your training ground methods with the smaller balls and maybe the diamond-shaped pitches. Where do these ideas come from? Is this something that you dream of and then wake up and implement, or your friend tells you about?
Or we steal it, or we hear about it, and then we watch our games and invent it by seeing the games, or like this. It was like we did these exercises very, very, very often, these 1-on-1s and 2-on-2s, and it never felt right because the players got a bit tired and they start grabbing and you didn't want to have it. So I was looking just for a solution and thought like maybe if we have something in our hands that could help us. So now we are playing a lot with also little balls. We try to do a lot of different stuff in training to keep the players excited and to keep them training with a smile on their face. And it's fun sometimes to play with the small balls, and then they can do the nutmegs better and enjoy it.
Brilliant. Okay, let's do the next one. Did Thomas Tuchel work as a bartender?
Yeah, I did. When I finished my career in Ulm due to an injury, I started to study in Stuttgart, like normal students. I wanted to earn a bit money for myself to it, and so I went around, asked if anybody needs a job, anybody has a job for me, and I ended up in this bar. Asked them. The guy asked me, "You have any experience in doing this?" I said, "Yeah, clearly yes." Of course, I had 0 experience. So I ended up in this really really nice bar, very nice people there, and I started with collecting like all the empty glasses. So, but it became from a bar. I thought I'm in a cafe and bar for the afternoon. Yeah. But I found out it's open on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I really enjoyed the time. But it made me I had to learn to carry all the empty glasses and bottles. Later, I could bring out drinks to the people out who do not order at the bar. Very later, when I stepped up the ladder, in the last half a year or so, when I worked there, I was behind the bar.
Did we have a Thomas Tuchel signature cocktail behind the bar? What were you special at making?
Maybe I don't know, a bad mojito or a wrong mojito was my signature.
Let's do the next question then. Was Thomas Tuchel's father a football coach?
Yeah, he was my football coach. He was a football coach around in the area where we grew up, and he was my football coach from the youngest 6-year-old team until the under 15, and then I changed the club to a bigger club, to Augsburg, actually, into the youth academy of Augsburg, and then he stayed my club and he stayed my coach at the sideline. So I had an actual coach, and I had my father who was my coach, like 10 meters behind the coach, which was sometimes pretty tough. as I can understand also now, that it's maybe
Yeah.
not so easy to coach your son and have all these expectations. But he pushed me to the limits, and it was good the way it was.
Would you say he's one of your sort of coaching idols? Because I also read that maybe when you were at Mainz, you went for dinner with Pep Guardiola and you discussed tactics over dinner there. So would you say like Pep is also a potential idol? Because I really also want to ask the question, did you use the salt and pepper shakers to move around as tactics and players on the table?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did, because they were there, and it is sometimes easier to demonstrate something if you want to talk about an attacking position or a defending position, or like building some gaps where you can play through or something. It's easier if you have some glasses and salt and pepper on your table. So we did this because I had to use the possibility. I didn't know when I will get it again. I was such a huge admirer of Pep when he was a player, and because I was a huge fan of Barcelona all the time. And then when he became coach, this was like learning on the job for me. I was meanwhile academy coach, and then later I was the coach in Bundesliga with Mainz. But I think I hardly missed the game because there was so much to learn about it. So there was a lot of tactical talking and discussions, and it was so interesting to hear all these his beliefs and his self-confidence and also his doubts in what he's doing. That was so nice to share. And we did it 2-3 times from then, and it was always a pleasure and a huge inspiration.
I love it. Okay, the next one then. Who is the most talented player Thomas Tuchel has ever coached?
That's a tricky one.
Tough question.
This is a tricky one because everybody I will now forget will be super mad.
Is there one player maybe that was really naturally talented that didn't require as much coaching and you just thought you could just put them out there and they would be a phenomenon?
Well, one of the first names that pops up to my mind is Ousmane Dembele when he stepped in Dortmund.
Okay.
Like that was a pretty natural talent and very, very outstanding. I mean, we had Mats Hummels, we had Ilkay Gündogan, Mkhitaryan, Aubameyang. So I'm forgetting here for sure top players. But Ousmane Dembele was one of the craziest natural talents because he was shooting free kicks with the left, shooting corners with the left, going to the other corners, doing the in-swing with the right, going to penalties, shooting with left, shooting with the right, dribbling, running, passing. That was like really like on a highest level with 18 years where you cannot where your development is clearly not finished. So then the obvious, is there more talent than Neymar? I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if this exists. More talent, more natural, easy-looking talent than Ney. I don't think it's possible. He combines pretty much everything: speed, dribblings, passing, assisting, finishing, physical ability. I think this is the absolutely whole package. And then, of course, every Chelsea player I train right now.
Yeah, I love it. You had to get in there. Well done, Thomas. Final question then, and this one is the big one, Thomas. Will Thomas Tuchel win the Champions League final?
Yes, it's an easy one. Yes, we will.
Go on, Thomas. I love it. Absolutely.
I was just reflecting on whom I missed in terms of talents, so it took me a while. But that was an easy one. Yes, we will win in Porto.
Obviously, you're the first manager as well to do consecutive finals with two different clubs, PSG and now Chelsea. Do you think there's lessons you can take from that first final and bring into this Champions League final?
Me personal, hopefully. Yes, there are always lessons to learn, also as a coach. But it was, I have to say, it was different circumstances. It was a tournament. We arrive, and it feels already different how we arrive. Because we arrived with PSG in this short tournament. It was only one match in quarterfinal, one match in semifinal, and then the final. It was so. Is it condensed to 12 days? That this now feels like a bit more. How can I say it? A bit more deserved. A bit more of hard work. A bit more like harder work to put in to overcome two stages in quarterfinal, two in semifinal, to be there. It feels like a bit more deserved to be there. And this maybe helps. This maybe helps, and then you have always like maybe everybody who arrives a second time has a little bit the feeling, okay, now I really earned it. I had to learn my lesson. I was a terrible disappointed last time. So if there is karma out there, come on.
Well, I wish you luck, Thomas. Thanks so much for chatting with me today. Really good luck.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, Thomas. Thank you so much.